Hello everyone. I am here right now to share to you my own personal story about my vocation. We know that every vocation has its own story. And in that story also, there are a lot of details. But in my own vocation story, I would like to share to you that my vocation started with little openings, like a simple question. When I was a grade 1 student here in Don Bosco, Victorias, a teacher used to ask me, and she would ask me this question: what do you want to become when you grow up? And immediately, I would answer, I want to become a priest. When I shared this one to my father, he reminded me that when I was a young boy, I used to draw on a paper an altar. Then I would put myself behind the altar, and behind me is a cross, and I would raise my hand. Then he used to see me also in the house putting up the rice or the chair, and I would stand up in the chair rather, then preach like a priest. And there I connected. I said, maybe that question of that one teacher that really started everything in my vocation story was the one who triggered me to enter the Salesian life and to enter the priesthood. But as the story continues, I began to fall in love with our usual daily masses here in the school. After the last period in the morning, I used to run going to the school chapel because my cousin, who was then a Busconian, invited me often to go to the chapel and serve and read during the Mass. And it continued when I was still a grade 1 until 4th year student. However, in that story also of attending the Holy Mass, I'm thankful that there were Salesians who inspired me and who encouraged me also. That time, my rector was Father Chito Dahao and my principal was Father Jean de Keban. But during the Mass, it was Father Gudo. He's now the provincial, who was the one who encouraged me a lot during our lunchtime Masses. Every day, I used to attend and I used to read and I used to serve during the Mass. There, I fell in love in attending the Holy Mass. Now, I realize that this vocation, it did not start only with that simple question, but it started also with an event, and that is the Holy Eucharist. How beautiful it is to recall that my vocation story started with this sacrament. And to add to that, there were also Salesians in my journey who inspired me, my teachers, the Salesians who were assisting us, who were guiding us, playing with us during lunchtime, wearing the casa. But in my vocation, it was really Father Felix Klowicki who shaped me a lot and taught me a lot. With that love for the Holy Mass, I joined the Knights of the Altar and the Don Bosco Aspirants Club, the vocation club that we called then. And every Friday, we used to visit the Blessed Sacrament. He used to give us the letters from Jesus. We have the prayers. And with those little things, little openings, that vocation to priesthood somehow was nurtured. And when I graduated, when I was grade 10, he was the one who also asked me, now, you go to Cebu, I'll give you 1,000 pesos after the graduation and just join the summer camp. And I joined the summer camp. And it was then also that I realized that St. John Bosco and the Blessed Mother Help of Christians was there on my journey because I did not know how to find the way going to Cebu. And I discovered then, that day when I went to Cebu, there were two guys from Don Bosco Mambukal who were also planning to enter the seminary in the Bosco Formation Center in Punta Princesa. Now it's DBTC, or Don Bosco Technical College. I was so thankful then that when we met there in the stopover in Toledo, I met them. And lo and behold, they were the ones who guided me going to the seminary. There, I fell in love also with activities in the seminary. Before, we used to study in University of San Carlos, but it was really a grace-filled moment because it was not easy for me, or not easy for us in the formation to live outside in our outside of the community. Then we come back in the afternoon. We have to juggle our own schedule. But maybe to cut the story short, we persevered. I persevered, and I'm thankful that there were Salesians who helped us in that journey also. And it was really now a personal responsibility and a personal formation. Now I realize that you have to be convinced of the love of God in your vocation, because little details, little openings will fulfill your dreams, and even you will discover your vocation in those little openings. Now that I'm here also in Don Bosco Victorious, is a time for giving back. Being assigned here as a principal, somehow I put my heart out in my responsibility, because this is my alma mater. This is where I began. This is where I started my vocation story. And I thank God that until now, that grace of God, when I connect all the dots from the beginning until now, I could see that this vocation started not only with that question, but it started with so much grace. Because of people, because of events, but it's because of that person. The story is somehow personal for me, because my vocation story is about a person, and that is Jesus. May you be inspired with this simple vocation story.